What if I told you that everything you know about Earth's history fits into just 24 hours? Sounds crazy, right? But here's the mind-blowing part. In those 24 hours, 4.54 billion years flash by. Continents collide, oceans form, dinosaurs rise and fall, and humans? We don't even show up until the very last second. And yet, in that blink of an eye, we've built cities, crossed entire oceans, stepped on the moon, and reshaped the planet in ways no other species ever has. But here's the paradox. We've barely scratched the surface of Earth's story. There are secrets buried in time that will flip everything you thought you knew about our past, and maybe even our future. Stick around, because over the next 20 minutes, we'll travel back through unimaginable cataclysms, forgotten worlds, and stunning twists of fate. By the end, you'll never look at our planet, or yourself, the same way again. The birth of Earth, 4.54 billion years ago. Picture this. About 4.54 billion years ago, there was no blue sky, no green forests, and definitely no oceans. Earth was just a massive ball of fire, born from cosmic dust and endless asteroid collisions. Volcanoes erupted non-stop, rivers of magma covered the surface, and the atmosphere was packed with toxic gases, no oxygen anywhere. Honestly, if you could somehow land there, even with a spacesuit, you'd probably last about 3 seconds tops. But here's the crazy part. From all that chaos, order slowly began to take shape. Every asteroid crash, every volcanic eruption, every molten river laid down the foundations for the planet we now call home. Think about it. The same ground beneath your feet was forged in fire and violence billions of years ago. Kinda puts Monday mornings into perspective, doesn't it? Turns out, sometimes destruction is just a setup for something incredible. And just when things seemed to be calming down a little, a cosmic twist of fate showed up. A visitor that would literally change Earth's destiny forever. It was bigger than any volcano, louder than any explosion, and set off a chain reaction that still shapes our world today. Thea's impact and the birth of the moon. Imagine this. Earth had barely started cooling down when a Mars-sized protoplanet named Thea came barreling toward us at insane speed. And then boom. The impact was so violent it melted huge chunks of both worlds and sent debris flying into space. Over time, that debris came together and gave us something we still admire every night, the moon. Hard to believe, right? That glowing rock up there was literally born from cosmic chaos. But here's the kicker. Without the moon, Earth would have been a totally different place, and probably lifeless. The moon keeps our planet's tilt stable, creates tides in the oceans, and even influences climate patterns. Next time you're watching waves crash on a beach, just remember, you're literally seeing the aftermath of a 4.54 billion year old collision. Talk about long-lasting consequences. And yet, the story doesn't stop there. After the chaos settled and the moon took its place, Earth slowly began to cool. And with cooling came clouds, rain, and something so breathtaking it would transform the entire planet forever. Cooling down and the formation of the oceans. After the chaos of Thea's impact, Earth finally started to chill out literally. Over millions of years, the planet's molten surface slowly cooled, forming the first solid crust. Steam rising from the fiery ground condensed into clouds, and eventually, the skies opened up. And when they did, it didn't just rain. It poured. For millions of years, relentless downpours turned the surface into vast oceans, filling deep basins carved by ancient impacts. Imagine standing there, watching the first drops fall onto hot rock, instantly turning into vapor and rising back into the sky. Over time, this endless cycle created entire seas, the same oceans we know today. Pretty wild, right? Next time you're staring at the horizon, picture this. That water's been here for billions of years, circulating through storms, rivers, and waves since almost the dawn of the planet. Makes every beach day feel a little more epic. And yet, as incredible as it sounds, these oceans were just a stage being set. Something tiny, microscopic, actually, was about to emerge deep within those ancient waters. A spark so small you'd miss it, but powerful enough to rewrite Earth's destiny forever. The origin of life, 3.5 billion years ago. Deep within those ancient oceans, about 3.5 billion years ago, something extraordinary happened. In the darkness near hydrothermal vents, the first tiny microbes came to life. No sunlight, no oxygen, just heat, minerals, and chemical reactions giving birth to the earliest building blocks of biology. Picture microscopic pioneers clinging to rocks, multiplying slowly, setting the stage for every living thing that would ever exist, including us. It's mind-blowing when you think about it. The spark of life started small, invisible, almost fragile. And yet, those little microbes shaped the entire future of the planet. Every tree, whale, mushroom, and human today traces back to those tiny survivors. If you've ever wondered why scientists obsess over places like Europa or Enceladus, it's because they believe the same kind of process could be happening right now under alien oceans out there. Talk about cosmic déjà vu. But here's where things take an unexpected turn. For billions of years, life stayed simple, just single cells doing their thing. And then, one microscopic innovation would change everything, reshaping the planet's chemistry and setting up the rise of complex ecosystems. The Great Oxidation Event, 2.4 billion years ago. Around 2.4 billion years ago, something tiny flipped Earth's entire script. Certain microbes, called cyanobacteria, figured out a groundbreaking trick: photosynthesis. Using sunlight, they produced energy and released oxygen as a byproduct. At first, it seemed harmless, but this invisible gas began flooding the atmosphere, quietly transforming the entire planet. That fresh burst of oxygen was like a cosmic software update, unlocking brand new possibilities for life. But here's the wild part. While oxygen eventually allowed complex life to evolve, it was toxic to most early microbes. Billions of them literally suffocated, triggering what scientists call the first mass extinction. It's a strange thought, isn't it? The same element we depend on today nearly wiped out life back then. Next time you take a deep breath, remember, you're inhaling the very thing that once brought chaos to Earth's earliest ecosystems. And yet, this wasn't the end of the story. That sudden rise of oxygen also created the ozone layer, shielding Earth from deadly radiation and setting the stage for something even bigger. Because up next, evolution was about to hit the fast-forward button, and life was going to get a whole lot more complex. The rise of complex life, 2,600 million years ago. After the Great Oxidation Event around 2.4 billion years ago, life had the perfect conditions to level up. Tiny cells started evolving into eukaryotes, organisms with a nucleus and more complex structures. Think of it as nature upgrading from flip phones to smartphones. These little powerhouses could store more information, process energy better, and build specialized parts, making them far more efficient than their simpler ancestors. Over time, these eukaryotes learned an even cooler trick: teamwork. They started grouping together to form multicellular organisms, like algae, sponges, and other early marine creatures. Imagine microscopic cells literally joining forces to create something bigger and stronger. Kind of like individual musicians forming an orchestra. That collaboration opened the door for a staggering variety of life forms to emerge across Earth's ancient oceans. And yet, despite these advances, life still moved at a snail's pace, slow, steady, and mostly hidden underwater. But then, out of nowhere, something extraordinary happened. In a geological blink of an eye, life exploded into an incredible diversity, filling the planet with forms, colors, and creatures the world had never seen before. The Cambrian explosion, 541 million years ago. About 541 million years ago, evolution stepped on the gas pedal hard. In a relatively short burst of time, known as the Cambrian explosion, life went from simple and small to wildly diverse and complex. Creatures developed exoskeletons, eyes, legs, and even nervous systems seemingly overnight. For the first time in Earth's history, predators, prey, and full-on food chains appeared in the ancient oceans, turning survival into a high-stakes game. Imagine standing on the seafloor back then. It would have looked like an alien world. Strange trilobites crawling across the sand, bizarre worm-like predators lurking in the shadows, and jellyfish-like creatures drifting by under shimmering blue waters. Fossils from this period are like snapshots of a massive evolutionary boom, showing how life went from meh to mind-blowing in record time. It was nature's ultimate creativity workshop. But this was just the beginning. As species adapted, competed, and evolved, some creatures ventured beyond the safety of the seas. The stage was being set for the rise of the giants, a new era where massive reptiles would dominate the land, sky, and even the oceans like never before. The age of dinosaurs, 250 to 65 million years ago. Starting around 250 million years ago, Earth entered one of its most iconic eras, the age of dinosaurs. At first, during the Triassic period, these creatures were small and unassuming, blending into the background of evolving ecosystems. But by the Jurassic, things escalated. Dinosaurs grew massive, diverse, and absolutely ruled the planet. From towering sauropods stretching higher than modern skyscrapers to fierce hunters like Allosaurus, these giants dominated land, sky, and even the ancient oceans. What's even more fascinating is how different species thrived in specific niches. Some grazed peacefully in lush valleys, while others evolved razor-sharp teeth and claws to stay at the top of the food chain. Scientists have even found evidence that certain dinosaurs developed feathers, hinting at their surprising link to modern birds. So, next time you see a sparrow or a hawk, you're basically looking at a tiny, distant relative of a prehistoric beast. Mind-blowing, right? But as unstoppable as they seemed, nature had a plot twist waiting. A cataclysmic event would shake the entire planet, darken the skies, and bring the reign of these incredible giants to a sudden and dramatic end. The mass extinction, 65 million years ago. About 65 million years ago, life on Earth faced one of its most catastrophic moments. A massive asteroid, roughly 6 miles wide, slammed into what's now the Yucatan Peninsula near Chicxulub, Mexico. The impact unleashed energy equivalent to billions of nuclear bombs, sending dust and debris into the atmosphere. Within days, sunlight was blocked, temperatures plummeted, and global ecosystems collapsed almost overnight. It was the ultimate reset button for life on Earth. The aftermath was brutal. Most plant life died, marine food chains collapsed, and roughly 75% of all species vanished, including the dinosaurs that once ruled for over 180 million years. Imagine standing by the ancient oceans back then, watching entire coastlines vanish under rising tsunamis, while firestorms raged across continents. What was once a thriving planet became eerily silent, leaving only the toughest survivors to adapt to a radically changed world. And among those survivors were small, furry mammals, resilient creatures that had spent millions of years living in the shadows of giants. Now, with the dinosaurs gone, a new evolutionary chapter was about to unfold. The rise of mammals would reshape the planet yet again and set the stage for something far more familiar. The age of mammals, 65 million, 6 million years ago. After the catastrophic event 65 million years ago, Earth began a slow but remarkable recovery. With the dinosaurs gone, mammals finally had the space to thrive and diversify like never before. From tiny shrew-like creatures to saber-toothed predators and massive ancient elephants, they quickly adapted to every possible habitat: forests, grasslands, mountains, and even the ancient oceans. This era, known as the Cenozoic, became the ultimate playground for evolution. Over millions of years, lush tropical forests expanded, and vast savannas emerged, shaping entirely new ecosystems. Some mammals evolved to glide through the skies. Others returned to the seas as ancestors of modern whales and primates. Our distant cousins began their slow but steady climb up the evolutionary ladder. Picture a world buzzing with possibilities, where species were constantly battling, adapting, and finding creative ways to survive. But nature wasn't done yet. Among these early mammals, one particular branch would take a daring leap forward, developing bigger brains, advanced tools, and an unusual ability to reshape the world around them. And from that tiny evolutionary spark, a species would rise that would change Earth's story forever. Human evolution, 6 million years ago today. Around 6 million years ago, a remarkable new branch of mammals began to emerge, the earliest hominins. These small, upright walking primates were the pioneers of a journey that would eventually lead to us. Over millions of years, they learned to craft simple tools, control fire, and form early social groups for survival. Every innovation pushed them a little further ahead in a constantly changing world, setting the stage for something extraordinary. Fast forward to about 300,000 years ago, and Homo sapiens appeared, our species. Compared to Earth's 4.54 billion year history, that's less than the blink of an eye. But in that short time, humans have managed to reshape the planet like no other species before us. We've crossed oceans, built cities, written stories, split atoms, and even left footprints on the moon. All achievements packed into a geological heartbeat. And yet, here's the humbling part. Despite our incredible progress, we're still just passengers on an ancient planet. All of human history is a tiny fraction of Earth's timeline, and we're only beginning to grasp our impact on its oceans, climate, and ecosystems. Which leads us to an even bigger question. What comes next for humanity and for the planet we call home? The present and the future. Here we are, at the very tip of Earth's 4.54 billion year timeline. If the entire history of our planet were squeezed into 24 hours, humans have existed for less than a second. Crazy, right? In that tiny sliver of time, we've built massive cities, invented mind-blowing technology, explored the oceans, and even stepped foot on the moon. And yet, compared to Earth's lifespan, we're still the new kids on the block, trying to figure things out. But here's the paradox. While we've achieved so much, we've also pushed the planet to its limits. Climate change, melting ice caps, disappearing species. Our fingerprints are everywhere. The same creativity that built rockets and skyscrapers also impacts the air we breathe and the water we drink. It's like we're writing the next chapter of Earth's story, but the ending isn't set in stone. We still hold the pen. And that's where things get really interesting. The choices we make today about energy, sustainability, and protecting the oceans and ecosystems will decide what the next second on Earth's clock looks like. Will humanity leave behind a thriving planet or a cautionary tale? Well, that's a story still waiting to be told. After 4.54 billion years of chaos, creation, and survival, here we are, just a blink in Earth's timeline, yet capable of shaping its future like no other species before us. But here's the real question. What will we do with our moment? Will we protect our oceans, forests, and wildlife? Or will we become the next chapter in the planet's long list of extinctions? Think about it. If the entire history of Earth fits into 24 hours, humans have existed for less than a second. And yet, in that tiny instant, we've crossed continents, reached the moon, and rewritten the rules of survival. So, what kind of legacy do you want our species to leave behind? I want to hear your thoughts. Which moment in Earth's history blew your mind the most? Drop your answers in the comments. I read every single one. And hey, if you loved this journey through time, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next deep dive into the mysteries of our world and beyond.